Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps, and today I'm making a soap inspired by a cake. I have seen a lot of super frilly, super frosted, super colorful cakes on my Instagram feed recently. I don't know why Instagram is so good at nailing my particular taste, but nothing gives me happiness like seeing frilly frosting and then something on the front of the cake that's funny or even kind of sad. It'll be like rainbow sunshines, butterfly, and then the cake will say, sorry. So I found one of those cakes. It looks like this. And I was like, I should make a soap with those colors. And so I did. And it's about that simple. And I scented it with one of our favorites, Black Cherry Bomb. It is the same fragrance that we used in the Lumpy Space Princess soap. And we have had such positive feedback about that fragrance. So I scented it in the same thing. It's kind of cake-like. You guys know most bakery smells turn your soap brown, which isn't really the aesthetic we were going for here. So without further ado, let us make a cake soap. Alrighty, today's soap has 6 different layers, okay? I'm gonna do it a little different than I normally do. And instead of splitting the batter into 6 equal parts, to save dishes, I'm gonna attempt to pour off the batter into one pitcher, scrape it out completely, and then pour off some more batter. And hopefully that works just fine. I do have titanium dioxide in my lye water solution, so I'm going to go ahead and blend that up. And now we'll pour that into our large container. According to my calculations, I should be pouring off roughly 56 ounces. And now that I have everything measured out so perfectly, it's gonna make incorporating the fragrance oil really easy. To this first layer, I am adding some Grape Ape, and then I'm also adding my fragrance oil. Today, I'm using Black Cherry Bomb. This is from Nature's Garden, and it smells fantastic. Go ahead and blend this up. Also, I didn't mix up any of the neons in this soap very well because I wondered if I left some speckliness in the color, if it would look a little bit more like real cake. Now, I may decide to go ahead and blend it a little better in the future, but for now, we're gonna see if I kind of like the speckles in all the layers. Again, maybe it'll make it look a little more authentic for something that is definitely going to be very, very, very technicolor, very, very bright. All right, go ahead and pour right into the center here. And then I will wiggle this around to make sure that we get a little bit into every bar. It doesn't necessarily have to be flat, but looks like this fragrance oil is really cooperative. Make sure we scrapey this out really good. And by the way, I don't think you'll be able to hear it, but just in case you hear children screaming in the background, my kids are in the pool with Caleb having the absolute time of their life and doing it loudly. Before we continue, let's actually check our recipe. So originally, I did have a little bit of waviness to the layers, but this fragrance oil says that it wants to be flat. So I guess that's what we're doing. All right, let's blend up layer number 2. Now this is a highly specific color blend. It is a little bit of Trial by Fire and a little bit of Brazen Hussy so that we can get this bright orangey red. All right, let's go ahead and pour our second layer here. Have to be very careful because it's still quite runny, which honestly makes for really, really nice layers whenever your batter is this runny, but it also means you have to go very carefully so as not to puncture anything. Man, this is already looking so much like that cake picture, which it has become one of my, like, I absolutely must do this thing goals is to make a cake like that. I just really want to do it. I am not necessarily skilled in making cakes. I can do one if necessary. Like if somebody's birthday is coming up and they're like, hey, I want a fairy cake. I'm like, okay, I might be able to pull off something that looks remotely similar to a professional one. But of course, it is not my main passion or hobby. I'm still going to give it my best shot for my birthday because I think it would be fun to make one. This pinky red is everything. I'm definitely going to have to use this color again. And now a quick word from today's sponsor, Acorn TV. They are the largest commercial-free British streaming service, and they feature hundreds of exclusive shows from around the world. Acorn TV is also super refreshing when it kind of feels like everybody's watched basically every show on every platform available at this point, and Acorn is releasing shows and films weekly. So they're constantly updating what's available for you to view. Another thing that's super great is that it is commercial free and only
$6.99 a month.
You can stream Acorn TV by downloading the app or streaming via Apple or Android devices, Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV, or what Caleb and I use, which is the Roku. You can try it for free for 30 days by using the code ROYALTYSOAPS. Once again, you can try Acorn TV free for 30 days by going to acorn.tv and entering the code ROYALTYSOAPS. By the way, the code is case sensitive and must be entered in all lowercase, okay? Thank you so much, Acorn TV, for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, let us make some more bath stuff. All right, number 3. Glub, glub, glub. In goes the yellow. Have to add a lot of that. True yellow, my friends. True yellow, my favorite yellow. All right, layer 3, here we go. Are my arms getting tired? Yes, absolutely they are. Oh, drat, drat, the red on the edge. What were you thinking, Catherine? Come on, you know better than to leave red on the edge when yellow is up next. If you're not gonna clean your bowl, you at least have to get that out of the way. Now, come on now. All right, friends, halfway done. Now to go into our green mix. It's a little bit of Tahitian teal mixed with radioactive green. Look how pretty. Oh, drat. Woo, it's been a long time since I've made a mistake like that. But we're leaving this in. Why are we leaving this in? Why are we putting this video up as is with my mess on the table and my mess on the floor? Because it is so important that people know I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. And no matter how long you've been doing a craft, you can still make decisions that aren't the best. You can mess up. It's part of the human existence. It's not something to get frustrated about. It's something to learn from and embrace. You can see I'm trying to move quick so I don't lose my batch, but I'm not angry. This has happened enough times and I learn every single time I do it, every single time. And sometimes, honestly, it's just nice to have yourself be reminded that you're not perfect, because sometimes you get in a groove and you feel invincible, and that's kind of a dangerous place to be. I think we can save this. I think I can manage it. But these last 2 layers might end up being gloopier than I originally wanted, and that's okay. Look at that beautiful color. This is Cosmic Carolyn. It is my absolute favorite pink mica to add to cold process soap, and you can probably see why. To help minimize how fast this is moving, I am going to blend in my color by hand. It mixes a lot slower. You get a little more work time. I'm also able to see every single little bit of the soap, so I know all the color is fully incorporated. Sometimes when you use a stick blender, you don't get the sides of the soap very good, and then you pour it and then it doesn't look quite right. So let's go ahead and add our fragrance in. Careful to measure. I'm gonna turn that off and I'm gonna mix very gently and very slowly. I am gonna pour this one off camera because I'm running out of time, but I will pour the last layer on camera, which is the light blue layer, before we put all of our beautiful little white bursting beads on it. So let me pour this, then we'll mix up the last layer. Well, you know what? There's a good ending to this story because I just poured that layer in and it was smoother than the layer I poured before it. So 3 cheers for that. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape out now our big container. Sorry if I'm blocking your view a little bit. It's a little awkward. Keep your head if you mess up in your soap making process, and never forget, safety is #1. Before I moved on trying to save this batch, I cleaned up and disinfected my floor. I cleaned up my table and disinfected my table. I kept everything safe the entire time. I never removed my goggles. Obviously, I have all my PPE on. Safety is always your #1 priority. So never, ever, ever leave soap, fragrance oil, anything like that on your floor if you spill and keep going. It's a slipping hazard. It's absolutely unsafe. So get that taken care of first and make sure that your area is once again safe before you try to save that batch. Because let me tell you, saving your batch is not worth the potential risk of getting a chemical burn, okay? I never like to be preachy on royalty soaps, but I always want to make sure that people know that safety is the #1 priority. We have it in a big, fat piece of paper in our soap making area over at my parents' house so that nobody thinks we would ever put a batch of soap above somebody's safety. Absolutely not. Now let's put some sky blue mica into this final layer. This is going to look a little bit different as it cures. It's one of those really lovely micas. This is from Nurture Soap, by the way, that just gets better as it sits. It blues up really beautifully, and yeah, that's why I used it for this. It's one that I bring out on rare occasions when I have a very, very, very specific need for a blue. All right, looks like everything has been incorporated very well. Scraped the bottom, scraped the sides. Let's pour this on top. See, look how lovely and smooth that Cosmic Carolyn layer is. That's what I like to see. Now we'll go ahead and put our blue on top, and you know what? This layer is going to be ever so slightly textured, so having it 100% even, not a big deal and not a priority, which is nice. It's a nice way to end a soap that you were struggling on. Okay, now we can blend that in just a little bit on top so we won't have any stratification looking whatever. Make sure we get that whole thing covered. Oop, there's a little bit that needs to be incorporated there. Okay, now I'm gonna give this a good tap, which will help level it. Okay, and then while this sits up a little bit more, I'm gonna go ahead and once again disinfect absolutely everything that raw soap touched. I did it once already, but you can't be too careful, especially if you have something unusual like that happen. All right, now using a popsicle stick, I'm just going to add a little bit of texture, just like this, to the top. You know what? I'll go all the way across, because I can. Just a little bit, but it'll make it look so nice on top. Just a little bit of texture. Awesome. And now for the fun part. Some white bursting beads. These are from Brambleberry. And I see this on cake pops all the time. There's like teeny tiny adorable little sprinkles. Just gonna sprinkle them everywhere. And me sprinkling them out of the cup here is helping me get them on every single bar with relative ease. If you use a makeup brush or fingers, sometimes it just doesn't get spread around very well, but that's almost a surefire way to do it if you don't have a sprinkle container. All right, we're done. This looks delicious. I cannot wait to see what it looks like tomorrow. Pretty sure we saved the batch. This is what it looks like on top. If this for some reason doesn't blue up, as in like if the color doesn't turn a little more blue by tomorrow, I may change what color I used for that, but I've worked with that particular color quite a few times, so I'm thinking it'll go a little more blue. If it doesn't, we'll change it out for probably ultramarine. Anyways, here you go. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in a bit so that we can cut this and split it and take a peek at that inside after this quick commercial break. we are back. Look at this soap. Even with all of our accidents yesterday, it looks so good. And look, matches my nails. These nails are from MSK Nails. I do have a code. I'm not an affiliate, but she did give you guys a special coupon code because I love her press-ons so much. I felt like this was the absolute perfect set for this collection. It matches the cake pop. And you can use the code on screen now to get a little bit of money off. If you order from her, I also have a special person helping me cut this soap today. Would you like to say hello, special person?
Hello.
Lily's in here in the studio with me today. She thought it would be fun to watch Mama cut some soap. So this soap, Lily, is called Cake Pop.
Yeah, but it doesn't smell good.
Oh, you don't think so? It's fragrance with black cherry balm, which is actually, a lot of people like this smell, Lily, including me, but you know, everyone has a different nose, so if you don't think it smells very good, understandable. So here's what it looks like on the inside. As I said before, I think I am going to darken up that blue, but you can see it got a little more blue as it sat. I'm also going to add a little bit more pink so it's a little less translucent. Why don't you smell it now that I've cut it? Oh, a little better, huh? It's actually really nice to have this kind of minimal top with the sprinkles. I just think it kind of adds to it. And in the future, I may or may not switch around some of these layers just to get a little bit of definition between, like, say, the pink and the blue might need to have the yellow in between them. I don't know. I kind of like it as is, though. Maybe I shouldn't touch it. I should just leave it alone. Have you ever had a cake pop? And if you have, do you prefer it to regular cake? I know they were all the rage whenever Starbucks like had them out for the first time. Like nobody could stop talking about them. They were all over the internet. And I want to know, do they hold up with time or was it a fad? Let me know down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to the channel. Is that something we're still doing in 2022? I don't even know. I have a personal TikTok that has like wonderful cleaning videos. I have a business TikTok where I show you short videos of all of the soaps that we make. We have an Instagram where we show you pretty soap pictures, and I have an Instagram where I show you pictures of my house and more cleaning products. So there you go. There's lots of other options if YouTube isn't your jam anymore. Thank you so much to Acorn TV for sponsoring today's video. It sure was fun to do. You guys be sure to do something fun for yourself today, like going out and experimenting with a new cake recipe. Maybe there's something a little fancier, a little trickier that you want to try to make. Or perhaps you'd like to support a local small business and just go pick up a cake. I don't really care what you do. Just be sure you do something fun for yourself, because that's the main point. And I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, bye for now. Meow.